Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Blue-Black Dragons, a deck that I have constructed to try to take apart the current combo heavy meta. First, we have 4 Thoughtseize, and if we're up against a Reanimator deck or a deck with powerful creatures, we can potentially reanimate one of those creatures that we Thoughtseized out with one of our 3 Reanimates. These are also good because we're casting Roiling Dragonstorm, which allows us to discard cards, and we might be able to discard an Orcish Bowmasters and reanimate it. And that does save a mana. But every mana counts in Legacy. We can also reanimate our Orcish Bowmasters after they've been killed by other Bowmasters, allowing us to have Bowmaster Supremacy. We have 4 Tamiyos, which flip when we cast Roiling Dragonstorm. We have 4 Murktides to bring the Roiling Dragonstorm back to hand, giving us the ability to play it again. And this is kind of like a blue-black beanstalk deck without the beans. Instead, we're just playing Roiling Dragonstorm. Almost all these cards are in bug beans, but I just don't think beanstalk is particularly well positioned. Roiling Dragonstorm pitching to force and also being a long game card advantage engine and also giving some mana filtering and things like that. Like we get excess lands, we just throw one of them in the grave with Roiling Dragonstorm, and this potentially feeds earlier Mercs. So I think there's a lot of synergy here. We're not playing Days, but we are playing 4 Wastelands because there are a lot of lands-based strategies out there, not only lands itself, but a lot of 12-post style decks, and then Karnforge, which focuses on resolving a few or getting a few key lands into play, such as the Planar Nexus, which we want to be able to waste. In the sideboard, we have some anti-Karn technology in 3 Consign to Memory, 2 Null Rod. Null Rod is very good, unlike the Clarion Conqueror, which is the 3-mana white dragon that shuts down artifacts and planeswalkers and creatures. Null Rod is just a lot harder for these Karnforge decks to get rid of, and it comes down at 2, which is cheaper than 3. We have 3 Nile Spellbombs we can board in against dedicated graveyard strategies. We got the 3 Hydroblast, the 3 Force Negations, 1 Engineered Explosives in case we run into like a Chalice deck or a Construct deck. I am very excited to play this and hopefully shred the meta. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against a mono black aggro strategy, most likely. Hand doesn't have lands, which is unfortunate. We are playing 19 lands. This shouldn't happen too much. Small. This hand does have a land and a ponder to find another land. I don't think we want double force. We just want to survive long enough to get a Murktide in play, and they shouldn't be able to deal with that generally because they use Fatal Push instead of I'll put back a force. We're going to hope that Island Ponder gets it done. It doesn't always, but we should be able to find a land here because they are almost certainly a 4 Wasteland deck. All right, this is a shuffle. Unfortunately, we can't count on Ponder finding it, so I'm going to shuffle, and hopefully they don't waste us. All right, we found a land. Rewarded. I definitely don't want to pitch Roiling Dragonstorm to really anything. I want to cast that next turn, so please don't waste me. But like I would 100% understand them wasting me given what I just did previous turn. Okay, so we got lucky. I don't think our Wastelands are going to be particularly good here. I'm just going to wait. They could have Dark Ritual Opposition Agent. That would be annoying. I think it's unlikely. I do want to surveil and find another land. They don't have a way to recur Wastelands or find other Wastelands. This is fine. This Roiling Dragonstorm is probably going to give them hint as to the fact that I'm not Blue-Black Reanimator, but I like to make people think I'm Blue-Black Reanimator. I've structured my deck very similar to Blue-Black Reanimator, so we can potentially get some sideboard equity from that. But it's plausible that Roiling Dragonstorm would play. I mean, they may take the Reanimate here. No, they took the Dragonstorm. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cycle here, or surveil rather. That is going to stick. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this now before the Bowmaster comes out and try to find another land. All right, Thoughtseize can go away. That's definitely not something we want to be casting here. All right, don't waste me. Please don't waste me. All right, that's on a Wasteland. All right, Douthie maybe? Him? Yeah, I'm just going to let it happen. All right, that's not bad. We kept the Ponder, which we can use to find a land. Force is not good in this matchup. Thoughtseize is even worse. Let's go find a land. This doesn't do anything, but frankly, I'm not in a position to be able to argue. We need land. We could Thoughtseize them here. I think we do. This gives away like the contents of our entire hand, but we're just waiting to find a Merc now. They have Cecil as their only card, so we just ignore the Fatal Push. Hopefully that won't matter at all. They were really... okay, so they played out the... So they have 2 unknowns in hand. Oh, wait. They had a bunch of lands. I accidentally clicked away from them. But I think they have Fatal Push and 3... They have 3 unknowns. Okay, Ponder... Unfortunately, I do want to ponder into potential Bowmasters. We need to find action. They have that Bowmasters. Unlucky. They did not have that earlier. And they do not have any deck manipulation. They just got lucky and drew that. That happens though. Okay, there's the Merc. I'm going to put the Force in hand and I'll pitch Force. And then we'll Merc. And then that should be the ball game. Could put Borrower in hand. We do technically have Borrower mana up. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll take the Borrower, and now I can at least bounce this Orc out of play, which I think is probably about as good as this ability is going to get. Just to reduce the damage a little bit. Okay, they're going to Surveil here. Raucous Theater, so we can be pretty confident it's mono black. Okay, they've been a Fatal Push. That's fine. And their Fatal Push in hand doesn't do anything currently. Okay, I'm going to wait for the combat, and now I'm just going to bounce the Orc. I could, of course, hold this, but it doesn't seem important. I'm going to have Dragonstorm to pitch the Force next turn. Okay, they didn't have a Baragoi for anything nasty. That's great for us. Let's make a big dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue. All right, and they need to have like some pretty specific cards to be able to get rid of this. I will not be casting this Dragonstorm until I can get rid of this Bowmaster. Don't need those triggers on my hands. I'm just going to protect the Queen here. It just takes 2 hits and they're dead. Bowmaster, oh, him. I don't want to pay life. I'll just let that happen. I could absolutely have countered that. What is this? Please don't be like some creature removal spell. Oh, so brutal. Yeah, I think we're going to lose now. If we find another Merc... We have, and this is a bad matchup for us, by the way. Like, as I frequently say, oh, that's not good. So we can bring this out. They do have, we'll see if they fetch. They shouldn't fetch because they don't, then they'll be able to use the Fatal Push. But if they fetch for some reason, I think I just move the game forward. I don't think we're going to be able to dodge that Fatal Push forever. It's possible we draw like a Tamiyo or something and we wish we'd just gotten it out of their hand. They might have another Bowmaster, which would be brutal. Okay, they are fetching, so they're just going to push it. That's fine. And we're keeping our Wasteland around. It doesn't do anything. Like, they have more than enough mana, and this could potentially help us crack some clues later. Just going to chill. So we do have Revolt if we need to kill a Baragoi. I'll wait till after this combat step. Oh, no, that's not good. I'm just going to wait. I'll take the 1 damage. I don't want them to cast a Baragoi. They have 1 unknown in hand. The 1 damage is worth it, but I will clear it at the end of the turn. Okay. All right, so we're looking for like another Dragonstorm. A Tamiyo would be okay. Borrower's not great. If they magically find one of their remaining 2 Wastelands, it's really bad for us. Okay, they don't have anything to do over there. It may be a more controlling build. Okay, we have Force if we need to. Let's see if we can do this. All right, that is pretty good. I don't want Thoughtseize for sure. I'm too low in life. Now we just chill. We'll eventually find another land, hopefully. And then we'll find a Murktide. This is Douthie. I can't beat Douthie, I don't think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to force it. And I'll pitch this other Force. Borrower can do stuff later. All right, come on, land. All right, Brainstorm. Let's go find a land. And okay. We didn't find a land. This is actually pretty dire. Yeah, Fatal Push is going to be more flexible. We'll redraw the Brainstorm. I don't want that to get ripped out of my hand. I think I put a Bowman. Gosh, we can't do anything if they have a... I'm going to do it like that, and then we just pass. And then, yeah, in the waiting room for a land. Every turn they draw, they're drawing like a game-ending threat, potentially. Baragoi, another Douthie would be catastrophic. Him, that sucks, but it doesn't actually affect the game right now because the game's all about finding a land and then finding a Merc. That Shield Ready was absolutely brutal. And you could argue, oh, you should have Thoughtseized or something, but yeah, a lot of these decks don't even play in answer to that. Oh, we're getting closer. Next turn, we Dragonstorm, and then we have Murk online. So I'm going to just I'll keep Bowmaster in hand, and then I'm going to Dragonstorm next turn, and I'll probably have to freaking do it in. Well, if they play Bowmaster for some, well, they wouldn't proactively play it. I don't think. Another Goif. Okay, that's game-ending threat on its own. So we have two options. One, we could. No, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to do this. Hopefully, we find like a land and a. No, I think we know what we're finding. We're finding one card, and then we're finding a Murk, and then something else. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. All right, if we draw a Murk, we survive. Or I'm sorry, if we draw a land, we survive. And if they don't draw a Wasteland, and if they don't have another threat to add to the board, those Wastelands have been absolutely brutal. We're at 5. Come on, land. Should have been more specific. All right, we're gonna play this out, and we will tread water for a turn here with the chump. Give me a blue source. We're still alive. Yep, here comes another threat. Dark Confidant. Oh, well, it's a shame that I can't Bowmaster that. Come on, give me a land so I can just Murk. Does this solve anything? Yes. Grave. Do we have one in there? They have Bowmasters. I'll just reanimate their Bowmaster. Ping this. Yeah, it needs to be done. Wait, Cecil deals damage. Then if your life total is less than the equal, you could transform it. I think it transforms under the opponent's control, though. I'm not actually sure how this works. All right, I'm going to just get this Bowmaster back, and we'll ping the Dark Confidant. You're going super duper low in life here, but we don't want Confidant on the table. This is why you can't play Confidant in 2025, by the way. I had someone reach out to me asking whether I thought Confidant was a good inclusion in mono black aggro, and I don't think it is. It's just so susceptible to Bowmaster here. So luckily they don't have any bounce effects, so they can't like get card advantage by bouncing the Orcish Bowmaster. Spellbomb is a nightmare. So now Murktide is no longer on when we do eventually find our land. What an ordeal. Kudos to my opponent for playing main deck Spellbombs. I think that's very smart. We do get a trigger here from both of these. It shouldn't matter. I am going to ping them. I'm still going to chump because I don't want to die. Does it make sense to just let one of these die? I think actually they swing and I chump because like they're not going to be drawing cards generally. And then we have a Orc that can potentially do some damage. Man, this is a 5/6. Okay, what's the last card? Just take me out. Put me out of my misery here. Fatal Push. Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, I don't know what we're even drawing to anymore. And they have one more card too. Dark Ritual. Okay. Yeah, good game. That was overkill. All right. Those Wastelands were incredible. Incredible. And this is one of the problems with playing multicolored decks. Like, you're just opening yourself up to Wasteland. If we were just playing mono black like they are, we wouldn't care. It's not even worth wasting them. Okay, so let's talk about the changes. Spellbomb is going to come in. They do have Bear Goifs and Nether Goifs. It is worth taking out their graveyard. Thoughtseize comes out for sure. It's just terrible. Like, you don't want to be doing damage to yourself. You can find situations where you're like, oh, if only you Thoughtseize that, but it doesn't come up that often. Explosives is pretty meh. They have a wide variety of casting costs. I do, however, think Explosives is better. Sees it better. I mean, it's a way we can kill. No, it's like they've got a lot of different casting costs. I'll keep one Thoughtseize in. I'm not going to bring in Force Negation against their creature deck. This hand's pretty good. I'm going to keep it. We've got Tamiyo. Hopefully they don't push it. I do, of course, have the option of just waiting on her, but I think it's fine if they kill her. I can just bring her back later. I'm going to do it off an island. I'm just going to respect their Wastelands this game. I didn't really have the option to do it. Like I think my opener was an Underground Sea, and they wasted, and I was like just forever behind. Okay, opponent's fetching. Probably going to just Fatal Push this. Dark Ritual. Don't hit me. Don't Thoughtseize hit me. That would be disastrous. Thoughtseize. Okay, they're going to take the Brainstorm probably. Bowmaster too. Well, they didn't bother taking the Brainstorm. They're just like, I'll take your Bowmaster. So I do have Reanimates in my deck, which is what I'm hoping to draw now. Otherwise, I'm pretty screwed here. Okay, that's not great. I am going to... there's not really much point in creating a clue here, frankly. Do I want to hang back and just protect myself? The good news is they are down to 4 cards, but that's not actually that low. I'm going to go ahead and just get my swamp and play out the Nile Spellbomb here. And I will hold up the Brainstorm just in case they push her. Like, I can always activate her at instant speed. Yeah, I mean, it's only 1 life, but I don't know. I should have probably attacked. It's just so tilting. Like, they took my answer to their Bowmaster. I wasn't expecting a 3 mana on the turn 1 play, but I guess I should out of mono black. I'll just block here. Never block the Orc Army itself because they can always just play a second one and then ping and kill. Another Goyf. That's fine. That will be small soon. If I find a Bowmaster, I could like ping that and then hit the graveyard, but I'll almost certainly be just... Best draw is a Reanimate. That card is really good. Give me the Reanimate. All right, that'll do, pig. So I think I go ahead. I want to flip this turn. I ping here. I flip. Yeah, I think I want to do that. They're going to... Wait, I could just nuke their graveyard and keep them off Tamiyo's back. I think that's better. Oh, they're fetching? What do you have? You have some instant speed interaction for my Bowmaster? Maybe they're going to push Tommy. That's smart, actually, because now I'm just going to let her go. So I'll ping here. When they attack, I could nuke their graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and fetch now because I don't want to get got by... I mean, if they're playing... Like, I don't think Opposition Agent is a good card, frankly. I don't think it's really worth playing. I've tried so many times to make it work. But sometimes an opponent will play it. They got a Wasteland. They're coming in for a hug. So I think the simple thing to do is block here, and then we just spellbomb them. If you have a Bowmasters, you're about to wreck my world, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I'll let that go in the graveyard too. You can take my Brainstorm. That's okay. All right. Since you have tapped out, you cannot respond now, so I don't need to worry about you Dark Ritual doing the thing. Yeah, let's kill your Nethergoyf. Rest in pieces, as Duke Nukem likes to say. All right, so we're going to Dragonstorm here. Try to pitch this under the stinky sewers. I really want a different land. All right, there we go. Do I want to attack? I might as well. All right, your Nile Spellbomb rocked my world. Now it's my turn to rock your world with Nile Spellbomb. All right. Nethergoyf's still a ways from coming back. They binned that. Interesting. They're looking for action. Or they might already have the Bowmaster. Straw here. All right. So I can Dragonstorm first. I'm going to try it. It's dangerous. They do have Bowmaster mana up. They didn't have it last turn. Okay, so we draw. I'll just bin this. Brainstorm. Ponder's more likely to matter now. We're going to get our Merc on. I think we won this game. I'm trying to think of how we lose it. Card advantage. 1, 2. We actually don't have that many instant sorceries in the yard, do we? This is not very big. I will get... I'm going to leave all my reanimatable stuff. I'll take the Nile Spellbomb just because it's a type for Barragoyf if they have it. Okay, these come back to hand. Pretty good turn. I'm going to attack. If they had the Bowmaster, they would have used it by now. So we're doing some damage. All right. So 2 attacks, assuming they keep attacking. Oh, they're not going to attack. So it's going to be 3 turns probably before we can kill them. They're killing our land. That's okay. All right. If I find another... Yeah, if I find another Murktide here, it's pretty good. Should I Dragonstorm instead? Yeah, I'm going to Dragonstorm. This could, again, be disastrous if they do have the Merc. They do! They do have it! Or Brainstorm on top just to get rid of this card. So, that's going to be terrible. So, our Bowmaster is going bye-bye, which is not that big of a deal. All these cards are terrible under the new Bowmaster regime. So we're going to just bin these 2 cantrips. Bowmaster comes in. It's going to ping here. I think I just hang back and wait. Like the game favors me. They are out of gas and I have this big blocker. So now it's going to be 2 pings, unfortunately. So we're going to draw. We will discard this Brainstorm, which we're not going to be casting anytime soon. They get 2 pings. Okay, but their Orc Army is still too small to swing in for profit. Unless they find another Bowmaster, which is entirely possible. My opponent has drawn very well with their Bowmasters. And that is a very good card against me, which is one of the reasons I'm playing blue-black instead of blue-white. They attack, although they have a Bowmasters, they don't. So here we go. I'm going to play this out. I think the simple thing to do is just attack and then borrow their token back into later. I don't want to cast anything into Bowmasters. I'm just going to be very patient here. Let's just wait. So we'll just go ahead and do this here. Actually, you know what? I said I was never going to waste them. This actually makes sense to waste them here just in case they have Baragoi or something. That would be an embarrassing thing to have happen, losing to Baragoi. I will telegraph that I have Brainstorm even though I no longer have it. I'll take 1 damage. All right. So next turn we can put this in for lethal pressure the following turn. Wow, that's a great rip. For a hug. And I'm just going to chill with Borrower up, both cast and bounce effect. I think we've got this game, but we've got 10 minutes to win the last one. Okay, they found a land. Don't barrel me. It doesn't matter at this point. So I'll take that damage. All right, end step, I'm going to go ahead and bring this out just to make sure they're dead. And I believe we've got it. I mean, I could Bowmaster, or I could go ahead and Murk for an even bigger Murk, but I think this is fine. We got it. Wow, that was a struggle. That was a struggle, and that was on the play. So on the draw, it's going to be worse. Engineered Explosives, how do we feel about it? They never really had more than one creature out. They're playing a pretty creature-light build. However, Engineered Explosives is probably better than Thoughtseize on the draw. Thoughtseize is just here. I mean, if I really need to blow away Bowmaster, which is by far the best card in their deck against us. Okay, this is a Fatal Push hand. I like it. I'm going to keep this. I like the Nihilist Spellbomb as well. Just to keep the Nethergoyf at play, at bay. Oh no. Here comes the God Hand. Oh, Baragoi. Yeah, we got the Fatal Push for that. I will not wait. I'm just going to... Yeah, you don't give Baragoi swings. Unfortunately, we are going to put ourselves into the breach here, but it needs to happen. So you screw yourself a lot of times by going on basics when you have a variegated hand. And I think fetching a swamp doesn't really accomplish anything here. I would love to find a Reanimate for that. My goodness, deck. I've got 3 Reanimates in here. I would have loved to find them the previous 2 games too. I think I did find 1. Okay, so that is annoying. Let's go ahead and see what the top is. That is going to stay there. I need extra mana. And then I'm just going to play a Tamiyo. If they kill it, it's okay. I have Force if I absolutely need to stop something. But that's like really just reserved for Bowmaster here. Don't... Oh, yeah. It's a 1-for-1. I'll take it. So they're going to come in for 2. That's okay. Again, we just need to keep them from tempoing us. There's the Wasteland. I am going to go for the Roiling Dragonstorm here, and I'm going to try to find a Reanimate for the... Come on, Reanimate. All right, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. I think we bin the Force here. We could bin Brainstorm just out of respect. No, I'm not going to bin Brainstorm. I'm going to bin Ponder. No, I mean, we have Bowmaster. We don't have him covered. That would be catastrophic. I probably would force him just because I need to keep this Bowmaster. I think I've been the Ponder here, and then I'm just going to deploy a Tamiyo. And you might be saying, what if they have a Fatal Push? You just lose your Tamiyo. It's true. It's true. It's a 1-for-1 though. We're going to lose our Bowmaster too. Not that Bowmaster really matters once it does its job of taking out the opposing Bowmaster. All right, so we're just going to let this hug. They have instants. They can't put a land in there. So instant creature. I can't think of anything they could have here. Take it out. They could do post-combat. But if they have a Bowmaster, I'm just going to force it anyway. If they go land Bowmaster. Okay, another Nethergoyf. They're doing what they need to do. However, we do have, if we get a land, we could now Spellbomb into... So I'm going to go ahead and attack, and I'm going to flip. This is our window to do so. And then if we find Reanimate, we're in Baragoi heaven. Let's go ahead and Brainstorm here. We did find Fatal Push, and I will play this land. We definitely don't want this other land, though. If they get like a non-basic, unluckily, I can just take it out. I want to put the Bowmaster back because I don't want him down in my hand. It's the most important card in my hand right now. Because this flips. Play this out. I'm going to play out a Wasteland. I'm going to play out an Spellbomb. I do have a clean window to just get rid of their graveyard. But they could potentially reload it. And currently I do have Fatal Push up if I need to push. Okay, now they have Bowmaster mana, which I'll probably... No, I have a Bowmaster on top of my deck. So I shouldn't force that. I know I'm not drawing a Reanimate for a while, so I do think it's fine to just hit their graveyard. So these get debuffed, and then I'm going to go ahead and Save the loyalty on her. And they have to choose before I float the mana, like whether they want a Bowmaster here to prevent me from drawing. Okay, so I will pay the black mana here. I'll draw the card. Now I have a Bowmaster in hand. Please don't hit me. They do -1, so Tamiyo should be gaining loyalty here. Yeah, I feel like we're in a pretty dominant position here. Like, I can't believe we're doing okay against this deck. This deck is a nightmare for me. Okay, so that is the him. Oh my goodness. I don't want them to him my Bowmaster. I don't care about these other cards. I'm just going to force this. Like, Fatal Push is really good. All right, so we're going to just keep going up on loyalty here. That's not a great card. It does help us draw a card. I think the top card, we know it. No, wait. We've drawn through the known cards. Let's see what we find. Another Nile Spellbomb. That's pretty good. Plus, I'm going to try to go all the way with Tamiyo. Get the ultimate. She's going to run the biggest library in the entire, what is it called? Multiverse? Is that what they call it in MTGO? Or Magic? Okay, so they're coming in for a hug. That's fine. Those get debuffed. Would you like to do something to buff them? I could just ping one, but I don't want to lose. I don't want to miss out on the card. We get a card here. Shieldred's Edict would be a beating. Gothi's kind of a pain. I just push it. You are too powerful against me. Okay, let's draw. Okay, so I think what I do here is I plus, and I just chill. When they come in for the attack, I can ping, and then I can negate their existence, or one of their existence. What is this, Douthy? Oh, this is it. Oh, they've had it. They freaking had it. Oh, so tilting. All right. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. I don't know how many of these they play, but they've been very crucial to beating me. Let's put it that way. Okay, but they are tapped out, so they get debuffed. And then I will just jump in here, black, and I'm going to ping one. Then I will block the other, putting 1 damage on each of them. And then they're both going to go for a ride to Nethergoyf Hell. See, you wouldn't want to be ya. That is beautiful right there. Okay. And even though we are behind, we ripped a freaking Bowmaster. That's good. Even though we're like super behind, it's going to take us a while to catch up. Not if we find a Murk. A land and a Murk. Show me the land and the Murk. Okay. I will take this land. Don't need... Do I even want the Brainstorms? My hand's fine. I'm going to do that. I'll play this out. I will attack, and I'll pass. They're down to 3 cards over there. I might want that Brainstorm. Let's see what they do. Okay, they're not doing anything. That tells me they probably have Bowmasters. Unfortunately, I just want to find my freaking Murktide. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. I could have grabbed a basic, but like, I don't think they're going to have back to basics in their mono black deck. I'm going to come in for a hug, and if they try to block, that's okay. I have the answer on board. Yeah, they do have the freaking Bowmasters. Okay, there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. They did ping that instead of me, which is nice because I took 1 less damage. All right, so I'm just going to go to the end step, and I think I just bounce this out for tempo. Might as well just bounce it out for tempo. I mean, they're probably going to take it instead of Tamiyo. They might take Tamiyo. They take 2 damage, and we've got a clock. We can bring in our borrower. They still stubbornly have 3 cards in their hand somehow. I think it's because they haven't been playing out land, and I have been. Would love to find a Reanimate deck. Okay, Brainstorm. This is like one of the rare windows where we can actually use it without fear. Let's do that. Unless they have Dark Ritual. Okay, we found the Reanimate. I think we just reanimate a Tamiyo probably. Explosives, I don't think we need. I will redraw this Bloodstained Mire, I guess. Go ahead and come in for a hug here. I could wait and just... I mean, Nethergoyf would be pretty big if I reanimated it. Let's think about this. Do we have enchantment? We don't have enchantment. It'd be like a 4/5. I think I'm going to reanimate Tommy. I just noticed I'm like really low on time. I'm going to reanimate a Tommy here because I have lots of mana that I can put user for. What do you have? Cling to Dust. Nice one. Okay, well, I don't take any damage, I guess. But it's fine. Like that card is kind of an engine if they ever get up to 4 mana. I don't like that card. I think it sucks. But it did just get me. Okay, 2 minutes. We're going to have to flash this in and hope they don't draw their Nth Bowmaster while we beat them down. We know that we're drawing crap. So I'm just going to come in with this. I'm not going to... Well, I should have attacked with my Bowmaster because actually if we trade there, it's favorable. Yeah, that was a punt. I can't block this anyway. All right, they're coming in. Do they have the ability to descend? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this. Blue, blue. Play this out, and I am going to have to shuffle here because I know I've got bad cards on top. I'll just get the other Underground Sea. All right, let's draw a fresh one. Come on, be a good card. That's a good card. We don't have time to use it, but I'm going to pretend we do. Don't Bowmaster me. I'll be so tilted. They're 12. We don't have a blocker. They haven't descended. Next turn we do have token. It's just the clock thing. All right, Fatal Push. I'm so glad that they pushed the Tamiyo and not any of my, things that I'm hitting them with. They're opting not to attack. That's fine. All right, so I'll just attack here. Murktide is great. Come on, block one of these. Okay, that's totally okay with me. All right, and now we're going to make a dude. What kind of dude? A gigantic dude. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 8. That's your life total. I'm going to recast this real quick. I know I'm kind of playing with fire in terms of clock. Force blue card. Okay, Fatal Push is pretty good. I'll just hold that. All right, I don't think they have any flyers. They're just going to kill this. I mean, Bowmaster would still be a wrecking. Okay, we got it. Wow. Okay, and they Withering Torment. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Yields 2 life. Okay, so Baragorf was in hand. They just never found the mana. Plague Engineer would have been good against us as well. They had lots of action. Just got mana screwed. Again, that's not a favorable matchup, but I'm glad we won it. See you in round 2. Round 2, we're up against Eldrazi. This hand is fine. I think the force is probably obligatory. I am going to play on basics here against Eldrazi. They are definitely a Wasteland deck. We have the luxury of being able to play on basics. Tamiyo is not great against them, but I'm going to play her. We can always pitch Dragonstorm to force, since we have a second one. Dragonstorm will flip her. Okay, that is not Eldrazi. What is this? Mono black again? Mono white! Ocelot Pride. Well, we can poke that, so that works fine. That's cool. Alternate art. I haven't seen that. Very furious little kitty. All right, so in my experience, you just don't mess around with this card. Kill on sight or take her to the pound. Call animal control. The Bowmasters will do the job. For the right price. Okay, we'll just come in for a hug. We're in a very favorable position. We can force their next player to and just hide behind Tamiyo card advantage. While we eventually draw it to Merc. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. That's the theme song of the Bowmaster. They look like ACD fans, don't they? ACDC fans. They're all rocking. They're like, thunder. What are some other ACDC songs? I don't know. You could just imagine, like, it looks like they might be wearing like some headphones, or maybe they got some like nice inner earbuds that we can't see, rocking out while they shoot different wild animals with their bows. Okay, so we got some black up in the mix. Force on Bowmaster for sure. What is this? Oh yeah, no can do. I tempted to hold a force, but I might just not. Yeah, I'll hold it. I'll hold it. Just in case. They could be like some catastrophic. I mean, they're not on the 80 card Yorion deck. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a clue here. Fatal Push is a good pickup. Attack all. Post combat, we're going to Roiling Dragonstorm so we can get our Tommy on. All right, these are good cards. I'm going to pitch the... I guess I pitched the push. Yeah. She flips. We've got plenty of fodder for Merc. We're just looking for lands. We have an unimpeachable mana base, but we do not have double blue, unfortunately. They got 3 mana. This Berry Town. I mean, I expect them to be playing a lot of weenies and stuff if they're playing Ocelot Pride. You don't just jam that in your deck without like synergistic stuff. It's not that great of a card on its own. but it does synergize extremely well with Guide of Souls and with, Ajani. Opponent fetches. There you go. Red up in there too. That means we'll have to worry about Blast. We'll have to worry about all kinds of stuff. Voice of Victory. I can just push this next turn. I'm not going to force it. Another Ocelot Pride. Well, now I need to deal with both of those. Ocelot Pride is first strike, but it'll be debuffed, so it's not going to do any damage. So options. 1. Just, I could kill them both if I use Tamiyo's ability. Maybe I should do that. I definitely want to take out Voice of Victory, but like these are all debuffed. But it does make like the other stuff they do scary. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kill this. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to plus. I'm not going to be able to attack here. I'm going to go fetch an Underground Sea. I am going to go ahead and Murk. This will come back to my hand. So I'll have a card to pitch to force if I need to. We're just going to turtle up and ride the Tamiyo train here. Assuming they don't have, what's it called? The card that, even if they have it, I can force it. I think we're in a good position. Like they can't attack because that gets debuffed and just killed by any of my creatures. They blunted my offensive. Yeah, this is scary just because it shuts off force. But like other than that, I wouldn't care about it. I actually think this card's not that strong. But it is good in this context if you've got like the Ajani because it creates, Voice of Victory creates red creatures that Ajani sees. So it unlocks the other half of the Planeswalker ability of Ajani that requires red permanents. Ajani, speak of the devil. Let's just force Ajani. Do we force Ajani? We could just let Ajani come in. What is the ability? The other side is he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control. He can create cats and stuff. I don't really care. I think we're going to be able to Tamiyo Victory pretty soon. I'm worried about stuff that disrupts my Tommy. They don't have good attacks. Even if he does have... my opponent has a way to flip him. Like a Cabal Therapy. Goblin Bombardment, that is the force right there. That would unlock a lot of shenanigans. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and plus. Thoughtseize is a pretty sad rip, but I'll use it. Let's see what the last card is. It's probably not a land. Don't be Cabal Therapy, because then they can just flash it back to get the Ajani ability. They're probably maybe thinking like, should I just concede now to conceal information? That's what I would be thinking. Okay, Amped Raptor. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm glad I did that. No reason to attack here. I'm about to draw half my deck. I've got a Clue Crack up. Should I crack now? I think I should, just in case they have Bowmaster. Okay, that's nice. Okay, they ripped a Silent Clearing, which they're going to churn through real quick, desperately trying to find an answer to Tamiyo. I will block whatever you attack me with. If you just attack with that Cat Warrior and you really want to flip a Johnny, you can do that. This is just a case of like Tamiyo being an incredibly broken Magic the Gathering card that shouldn't be legal anymore, frankly. Like, this entire game has been warped by Tamiyo's presence. We should not be able to win matchups like this, frankly. Because they're going to clearing. They already did their combat. So that's going to ping. They just scoop. Yeah. All right, I guess they didn't find what they needed. So I think Engineered Explosives comes in here. Hydroblast can come in. It's not great. Thoughtseize comes out against this deck that unloads its hand very quickly. Yeah, I don't think they have a ton of red cards, but Bombardment, they'll probably bring in Pyros. All right, let's do this. I didn't really see any creatures of theirs that would be good to reanimate. Voice of Victory might actually be okay. So this is kind of a sketchy keep, frankly. I don't like this. I'm going to mulligan this. Especially with them on the play. I mean, I would like to be able to... Yeah, but this doesn't fill up the graveyard for Murk. Murk doesn't do anything in this hand. This is better, but it's not great. We just fetch Island. I will put back Engineered Explosives. It's just too soon. I'm not going to put back Bowmaster because it seems to be a hard counter to like a lot of the stuff they do with their deck. Like a lot of X1s in their deck. Okay, that's a great start for us. I am just going to go ahead and yeet this Tamiyo out there. I want to draw a land so bad. 19 lands. Come on, give me one. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to fetch the basics. I'm a coward. I have Force Blue card up. If they kill Tommy, that's fine. I mean, Tommy was so strong there, they may prioritize killing her. Voice of Victory. I think this is a force. We don't have an answer to this. And it negates our future forces. Like, we have Fatal Push if we find land, but it could be a while before we find land. I'd feel really dumb if we were getting hit and... Okay, there we go. We're going to attack. And then we're going to brainstorm into a fetch, please. That was a very lucky top deck. Don't brainstorm and lock me. All right, this is not terrible. This is not catastrophic. So what I'm going to do, I can go ahead and ponder now, shuffle, and try to find another land. And I think I should. I think we keep one Bowmaster. No, wait, I have a land here. Said, please just ban this card, Wizard of the Coast. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, Tamiyo is very strong. Like I said, Bowmaster is good against a lot of what they do, but it's not necessarily, like, I think Fatal Push is better. And I mean, these cards are fine. I don't have to do anything. I could just chill. Yeah, I'll just make my land drops and chill. I mean, these are totally fine cards. They said, then Delver will see play again. I don't really care about Delver. Bowmaster is the thing keeping Delver back, I think. Like, specifically, Delver of Secrets. I guess I'll ponder just for mana efficiency. Yeah, these cards are fine. I'm going to keep them. Yeah, I'll just keep them. I'll take the Underground Sea now. Tommy will be the last thing I take. So between the Bowmasters and the Fatal Push, I think we have enough stall tactic to get to Tamiyo Paradise again. Tamiyo Nirvana. Therapy. That's unfortunate. I doubt they name Bowmaster. If they do, name Days. Okay. They may just go ahead and go for a Bowmaster right now with the Johnny. Yeah, I can't. So they probably name Bowmaster here, which luckily I do have another Bowmaster. So they're going to flashback. Yeah. It sucks. So Johnny can use the ability. If they name... They're going to name Bowmaster. Okay, good. That's fine. So I'll have both Bowmaster and Fatal Push up next turn. And I have Clue Crack if I prefer to do that. I'm going to plus and pass. If they play like a red creature, I definitely want to push that because I don't want to deal with. And I could also Clue Crack and kill like practically anything that they may be capable of playing out because it'll be up to 4 with the Fatal Push. Amp Raptor. Annoying because it does give a Johnny the ability. So I think what happens is when this ability goes on the stack, we let that go. Goblin Bombardment, don't do it. No, it's so bad for us. Okay, so there's nothing I can do about this. I think I can come in with the Bowmaster. Yeah, we're never going to be able to get rid of this thing. I guess I could have actually Clue Cracked there, but I don't know what I would have found. I'm going to kill both of their creatures. They'll be able to create a new creature. They just scooped the match. Love it. All right. We are 2-0 going into round 3 with our control build. See you there. Round 3, we're up against frequent be excellent antagonist Mahfouz Vangough with his crazy dredge builds. This doesn't do it. We need a force. Thassis is not good against what he's doing over there. We got to stop him. I don't think we can go any deeper. It's possible there's something good to reanimate in the yard. I'm going to keep this. Bottom this. I'll bottom a fetch since I'm definitely going to open Underground Sea. Mahfouz Vangough, he never plays like Wasteland or anything. It's always just blue-red dredge, basically. He's a deck specialist, and I'm kind of envious of how he gets to get really good at one deck because he doesn't feel the need to like constantly change decks every day like I do. Okay, so we reanimate this. Just dies instantly. Stinkweed Imp can be reanimated as a 1/2 flyer. It reduces the dredgers. Could we rip? No, we don't have Now Spellbomb in our main deck. Yeah, I don't think we have a way to win anymore. I'm just gonna skip the game. Sorry, everybody who's like want me to put up a fight. Like, at least he doesn't know what we're on. This is coming in. These Now Spellbombs. The forces are coming in, and then we take out. Spot removal, this doesn't do anything. Like, Dredge has like something like a 85-90% game 1 win rate anyway. So it's not like, don't ever be ashamed to scoop to Dredge game one. Like, they are incredibly favored. Are we ever going to have time for Undercity Sewers? Like, I feel like drawing that can wreck otherwise good hands. Wasteland can matter. I'm going to keep them. Wait, no, I'm going to take the basic swamp out instead. Thoughtseize is pretty terrible against Dredge. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to take out the two of the Thoughtseizes. Is there anything we could bring in that'd be better? Consign stops LED. It's not like a completely dead card. I'm going to bring that in. I think that's better than Thoughtseize, frankly. Thoughtseize, you're running the risk. Like, what if you Thoughtseize them and you actually enable them having Dredgers? That's a nightmare. I'll keep the Reanimates in there just to be able to randomly reanimate their creatures, their Dredgers. Or if they get like that big Ox dude, Oxnobolus or whatever. This is a great hand. I'm going to keep this double force plus now Spellbomb. They have this card Shenanigans they can use. I'll keep this. They don't know whether to expect because we scooped immediately. But we do have a weapon. And we're still going to force everything they put on the stack. That's the rule. You always force. I will force pitching Brainstorm because if I do get a Tamiyo online, it's not terrible. Okay, they had a land. They're probably going to, during our upkeep, try to cast the other card. Oh, they didn't. Okay. Well, we just had to chill. We have nothing going on. Upkeep. I should have wasted them in my upkeep. Probably. But if we get like an Underground Sea, we suddenly have Bowmasters on and we can start to close the game. It's also pretty strong against like early game. Oh, man. Come on. Do we want to waste this? I don't actually think they have that many like 2 mana plays in the deck. Almost everything's 1 mana. I'm going to leave it. They're going to be able to naturally discard here, which sucks really bad for us. Yep, there's a Dredger. Come on, reanimate. Well, I don't need to reanimate here. So I think we let them dredge the first time. Goes back to hand. They just do it again. It sucks, man. It's so hard to beat this deck with a fair deck. Like, you're building your control deck in 2025, and you had to beat so many different things. You have to be able to stop everything. And then you end up keeping hands that are really, really strong, but don't have any land. They opted not to dredge. This is fine. I don't think this favors us. Okay, they put another one in the yard. They are tempting me. All right. So we can Tommy here. I think we should just to get our card draw engine going. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to waste them yet. I don't care about drawing this card. I want to get Tamiyo online. I have a Brainstorm next turn too. And then my plan is to just Tamiyo Ultimate and then have all the interaction. All right, and leave a comment with timestamp if you disagree with my play. I'm eager to get better at this. They're going to discard a card. Therapy. So many tasty targets. They're really doing their best to tempt me. They are a master at this archetype. Make no mistake. They know exactly what they're doing. They're much better at playing against control decks like mine than I am playing against Dredge. We're going to go and do our thing. Pretty good. They scoop. Okay, they just scooped. All right, well, that was good. Don't expect it to go for that like that this time. But we are going to run it back. No changes. Now we have to beat it on the draw without the ability to... now Spellbomb's strong, if we get to yeet that out there. Check out Mahfouz Vangough's channel, though, if you like Dredge. If you want to see Dredge just completely destroy the meta. It is a great anti-meta, like off-meta deck. But I think it is harmed by the fact that everybody's gunning for the graveyard right now. Between Oops All Spells and Blue-Black Reanimator, everybody's going to have tons of sideboard hate in their deck. I've got 3 main deck. This is not a keep. Let's mull. Number 1 priority, Spellbomb. Number 2 priority, Force of Will. And I think Spellbomb's the highest priority, but you really want to find both if you can. This doesn't work either. Don't be afraid. Like I mulled to 2 against this guy yesterday. Or it was like 2 or 3 days ago. I mulled to 2. Granted, I had Leyline of the Void. This is the hand. They can take our Nile Spellbomb, but they can't take both of them. Reanimate's pretty mad. We don't even have black. I'm going to put that back. Put back Merc. We got the Tommy combo. We're going to Tommy gun him. And then we're going to, we're going to get the Nile Spellbomb down immediately. Unmask, okay. That's one of our Spellbombs. They're down to 4 cards. The card they exiled with that was the Therapy. So they'll take one of them for sure. I can't imagine a world in which they let Nile Spellbomb live. What? You have an answer to Nile Spellbomb? They must have Shenanigans. Shenanigans is a very powerful Magic the Gathering card that is essentially like a shatter effect with Dredge. Think we just go ahead and spellbomb here? Or I'm reading that they have shenanigans. I'm gonna get my Tommy down. This may seem crazy, but why else would you take Brainstorm? That makes zero sense. Oh no, they could have Cabal Therapy. They did have a therapy that they exiled. I'll feel really dumb if but yeah, I think I probably just punted. They're not doing anything though. Wow. Maybe I didn't punt. There we go. There we go. I'm going to strip this from you. What say ye? Okay. I'm coming for a hug. I am going to play out one of the Nile spellbombs now, even though they can blow it away with shenanigans. Shenanigans, I believe, cost 2, though. Okay, they're fetching. Oh, no. If they shenanigans me... Yeah. So I go ahead and hit their graveyard now. Obviously. I mean, I might as well. But then they can just dredge this. The only thing I can see... Yeah. The only thing I can see here is I draw another Nile spellbomb right now, and we shenanigans that. Or we spellbomb the shenanigans. I'm going to waste them. And I'm just going to create another clue. I'll start cashing in clues later. Do I hold this? I don't think I do. I just need them to be down to 1. Gosh, it's such an interesting subgame because they're down to 2 cards. As far as we know, they don't have a discard outlet. But if I do this, they're almost certainly going to dredge. Should I just get rid of this completely? That gives them free reign to do a bunch of stuff next turn. But this does dredge. It's possible. Would they really dredge this? Probably. Pricey baubles are no match for our cheap tricks. Okay, let's think about this. They know I have it. I know they have lots of discard in their deck. They don't have black to discard me. I could wait. It's mana efficient to just play it now. If they have a mana, they can just blow it away. I'm going to wait. Don't have a land. They did take an organic draw. These Wastelands have had an impact for sure. Next turn, we'll be able to start cracking clues. Ponder's good. All right, I'm just going to wait another turn. The best thing I could draw would be a Wasteland at this point. Scariest thing they could draw would be like an LED. So I am going to crack a clue here. I'd rather have a clue than a surveil. I don't think they're going to be hating on our basic lands. Draw a card. Tamiyo. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's odd timing. I'm going to definitely hit their graveyard now. They're trying to sift through and find a land. If I find a land, I do have flip Tamiyo. They put all 3 cards on top. What does that mean? Okay, we did find a land. Force negation may actually be really good because we can just hit the shenanigans. Should they go for it? Oh, we could also flip her right now. I mean, they're unlikely to have any pressure. What's the worst that could happen if we flipped her right now? Okay, we found another Tommy that's a perfect pitch here. But also, we already played a land. We played the swamp. I definitely want this Wasteland next turn. Let's think about this. So, we play the Nile spell and they get the shenanigans back. Then we just force it. I like that. Brainstorm down here. Wait, I could just brainstorm into these. Yeah, I'll just brainstorm now to save mana. Yeah, I'm just going to brainstorm. Okay, and now, oh, holy cow, that's insane. Okay, so we want the force negation for sure. So I have to put back Nile Spellbomb, Wasteland. She flips. I plus her. Wow, we got so freaking lucky. It's unreal how lucky we are. If we just hit this now, if they flash, they're not going to flash this back now. They don't even want, they want to draw those cards. So I don't think we need to worry about them flashing back. They probably found a land. They did not bring back the shenanigans. They did find the land. Narcomoeba, no problem. All right, I'm going to hit their land. Plus, I'm going to go ahead and hit their yard right now. So I can draw a card. All right, and then I'm just going to play this out so they know how screwed they are. Yeah, I can't believe we're winning this, but I think we are. Yep, good games. Wow, we're 3-0. This feels great. I might play this Eternal Weekend. Like, it just, on the face of it, it's extremely strong, but it is hard to pilot. It's not an easy deck to pilot. And after playing like mono black and mono white Stompy and stuff, and even like, I would argue Blue Painter is like way easier to pilot than this. So like, do I want to do another 11 rounds of just brain melting control gaming? against an extremely toxic meta of like Karnforge and blue-black Reanimator? I'm still not sure. Right, round 4 against my least favorite deck. Karnforge most likely. This is a non-workable hand. I am grateful to be on the play, but come on, deck. This is a forced blue card hand. I don't think we throw it back just in case. Yeah, I'll just throw back one of these Underground Seas and I can Surveil. Yeah, and Conventional Wisdom, counter the Monolith. A lot of people are like, oh, just counter the actual One Ring, but by the time they have all the mana, they might start casting stuff that it doesn't even matter if you counter, like that Ugin thing. I'm going to bin basically any instant or sorcery I find just to further fuel Murk. Okay, they're taking 2 here. What are they doing? If it is a Monolith, I will force it. I'm not going to force a key. Okay, that's it. They don't have a Monolith, otherwise they would have played the Monolith first and then used that mana to use the key. So Sewers. That is what we need. I said I was going to bin any instant or sorcery, but I do want to like peek at their hand here. Just take whatever moving parts like the One Ring. Oh, or they could just have freaking everything. My goodness, this hand is totally cracked. They do have the Monolith. Karn's a pain. Fleshraker is a pain. Okay, so K-Command, we just have to ignore it, frankly. They only have 3 mana, so they can't. Well, So the main thing we need to stop is the Karn itself. So we could let them resolve the Monolith and then just let them have tons of mana for the rest of the game. I don't think that's a winning strategy. I think we take the Monolith, we force the Fleshraker, if that's what they do. That's almost certainly what they do. Yeah, this sucks. This really sucks. Karn can find like an answer. Maybe, I mean, do we let that? I don't think we can let it the Fleshraker resolve. I think it's a recipe for disaster because they already have. Oh wow! So we're going to be countering Karn here. Yeah, but they had the 4 mana. They drew that tomb. I guess it's not the worst thing they could draw here. Yeah, I'm going to force you, and I am going to cower in fear because they have tons of mana. Their hand is currently K-Command. Yeah, so we know definitely what their hand is, but Fleshraker is so brutal with K-Command. That's a good card. So we could Dragonstorm and hope to hit. I mean, we need to do something here. Dragonstorm hit like a Thoughtseize would be good. Reanimate doesn't do anything. What a disaster. We could force their Glaring Fleshraker and Reanimate. That doesn't sound useful. We do need to force it, sadly. I think we dump the Reanimate because it makes the Murk bigger. We do have Murktide next turn. If we don't counter the Fleshraker, and this bounces back to hand, and it's possible that we can just outrace it. I'm going to let this resolve. This Murk is like basically our shot. Okay, they're not casting the K-Command. They can cast it. It will. It's definitely stronger if they cast it next turn. But I will have reloaded by then and hopefully find a blue card for force. Yes! Yeah, let's do it. I'm just going to make this dude come out. Do I want to get a Tamiyo out? Tamiyo just gets exiled. I don't think it's worth it. I'll hold her for force. And I'll try to recast my Roiling Dragonstorm next turn. So we're definitely going to force K-Command and hope that that's all that they have to say about that. They are within 2 swings of death. They would need a lot of mana. But like, again, like 1 mana and then like the Ugin dude and we're dead, unfortunately. But they're not going to be able to do that at the same time. Like they would have to K-Command first. I will counter the K-Command. 7 mana. Don't be the freaking Ugin or I'm going to flip my freaking table. Okay, yeah, I'll just force that. And that will be the ball game. Thank you. Do not care to play against your deck. I am very excited to beat you game 1. And yeah, they have nothing. I feel very confident that they're dead. Oh, thank goodness. Sorry, this deck can rest in pieces. I can't stand this deck. I'm not going to hold back my contempt for this deck. Okay, so no Rod comes in. Consigns come in. We could bring in explosives. I think that's actually probably good. It's not great. We could blow up keys. We could blow up constructs. I think it probably is worth bringing in. Cards that are not good. Frankly, Fatal Push is pretty terrible. They have exactly 1 creature in the deck, and the key is just not let it stick. I think Force Negation can come in. Like if you, even if the Karnforge resolves, if you stop all the other the Fleshraker resolves, you can still resolve, like, answer the other stuff. So our deck is almost completely blue. Look at that. I just want to show you. This is why you don't play 3-color. Look at this. 30 freaking blue cards. Literally half our deck is blue. And that's what you need to do to beat combo in my book. Don't ever let anybody tell you, oh, you're crazy for putting 4 Force Negations in your yard. It does come up. Okay, this hand doesn't work. It's too slow. Double Thoughtseize, we're probably dead. I'm looking specifically for null rods, and I want to have... I mean, this hand's fine. It's not great. It's got the Tamiyo Brainstorm combo. I think we just put back the Ponder. We could put back the Murk. I think I'm going to put back the Murk. We're not close to casting it. It is how we close the game, but like realistically, I'm going to be getting Underground Sea and pondering immediately. Is that true? So can we rip a land? Explosives might be relevant. I think we Thoughtseize here. Man, what if they do have the thing? The Planar Nexus is such an ordeal. We could just Underground Sea, ponder, hope to hit a force. That's the other option. I think it's better to just Thoughtseize them. And I'm going to Underground Sea Thoughtseize, because if I find a second blue, like, I don't want to play the Stinky Swamp out. Like, I wish it wasn't even in my deck right now for the purpose of this matchup. It's not good. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. They had the freaking Planar Nexus in one ring. We're totally screwed. Totally screwed. Oh my goodness, we're so screwed. So look at this. We take the one ring, which you kind of have to take. And then they've got like 7 mana. They can double Fleshraker. It's so frustrating. Oh my goodness. There's nothing we can do. If we pondered, doesn't matter. We can't let them have one ring though. That card, they just run away with the game. So yeah, it's disappointing, but we're on the draw. Our mulligans were not kind. We didn't get the null rod we needed. Null rod neither doesn't even really matter that much anymore. We're just going to get burned out so quickly by these. Yeah, so they're going to probably play both. Oh, they're just going to play the Fleshraker? That's fine. Okay, so their hand is Fleshraker, Grim Monolith. So they can do Grim Monolith and, yeah. And I removed all my Fatal Pushes because, frankly, it's not playable against this deck. But, okay, so what I'll do is I'll just consign one of the Fleshrakers and this Fleshraker trigger. That's really all I can do here. Hope they don't draw another one ring. Got a lot of mana here. Let's replicate. The replicated version will target this trigger. Okay, so those are countered. That feels a little bit better. They can still attack us for 2, and they can still play the thing and get a ping for that. They still have tons of mana. What's their other spell? What do they draw? We've gotten through their entire known hand. They have 2 unknowns. Key does give them tons of mana, but it does not kill us. We are very dearly clinging to life here. Do you have more actions? They might as well untap that. Don't have one ring. Okay. That's annoying, but it's not the end. Look at how much damage we've already taken. I think we've taken like 3 damage this turn, and now we're going to take 2 more. This thing just kills you so quickly. They're hellbent. We blow up the keys is one option. I think we just need to ponder to a Murk. I'm going to brainstorm. I don't think Tamiyo's not going to get us there fast enough. I'm going to brainstorm. Well, it looks like Tamiyo's the only option we have, unfortunately. I'll put this back. I definitely don't want these lands. We're going to go ahead and go in here like this. Blue. And I will just play this Tamiyo out. There's nothing else to be done. She can block this for a turn if they whiff. Like they draw land or something. If they draw Urza Saga, that's catastrophic. If they draw any of their high mana payoff spells. If they draw K Command, that's the end of the game too. I'm casting something big. I'm ready to concede. Good game. I'm not going to play against this anymore. All right, so we got one more round. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that we beat Karn on that board with all that mana. Okay. I think we do bring in the other Force Negations. And again, I apologize if I come across as overly like annoyed at this deck's existence, but it's so frustrating to play against. I swear. Like, it's frustrating to play against Blue-Black Reanimator, but that's nothing compared to playing against Karnforge. You just feel so little agency. But we're on the play this turn, and I'm going to try to stay positive. Yeah, I don't know what to remove for the Force Negations. I don't really want to take out the Dragonstorms. I could take out I could take out the swamp, which sucks. They're not going after our lands. I could take up a Roiling Dragonstorm since the games are going to be so condensed. The thing is, like, you could totally disable them, but they're going to have tons of mana. Oh my gosh. There's no way I can keep this. I'm going to mulligan this. I'm sorry. This is also a terrible hand. All right. Let's mull to 5. And I could easily see how somebody's just like, you got to like will the victory into existence. Like you're tilted. I know I'm tilted. I can't say I'm playing against this deck. Such an insult to my sensibilities as a Magic player. It's not as bad as 12 posts. That's a bigger insult to me. And I realize some people watching this might play 12 posts, but it's just like non-interactive creatureless decks. We're going to put back the Underground Sea. We're going to put back, for now, I'm going to put back the Delta. I get the sense that we're going to need all these cards. I think I want to get Tamiyo online. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything too explosive turn 1, but I could be completely wrong. But getting her out, like at least we're potentially drawing 2 cards a turn now. I don't want to have to waste them, but if they, like, I'll just, yeah, it's so annoying because you know this is going to be 4 mana next turn. Candelabra, okay. I'm not going to force that. So this card just gets totally crazy in terms of the amount of mana it can create. I'm going to hold up Consign just in case they try to do like some big swing. Then if they don't, like I don't want to waste yet because I need to get the Planar Nexus. So then they'll only get 1 big burst of mana with this Candelabra. Unfortunately, like I'm going to wait until they activate Candelabra and then I'm going to waste. I think this is just a Consign. Yeah, I'm just going to Consign this. And this way I can waste the Planar Nexus, but I need to wait. Again, once they activate the Candelabra, I can waste it, but that Nexus needs to get hit. And they absolutely could have a redundant one. They could use the pedal to untap. I'm going to go for it. You don't normally do instep, but like I just want to get that out of the way. Because if they have a giant K command or something. Okay, so we're very close to being able to Murk here. I'm just going to chill for a turn. It's possible that this top card is a blue card that I can pitch to force and then I can Murk. Murk will be difficult for them to stop. Don't have another Planar Nexus. Okay, Urza's Workshop is annoying, but it's not as bad. Okay, so now they have 2 mana off this. I'm going to go ahead and just... I mean, you could say, oh, they've got infinite mana. Just give up on it already. Let's see. 1, 2. So they'll have Metalcraft. 1, 2. Then they tap this. They can retap this. 1, 2. Then they can key and get extra. It's not that much mana. I'm going to go ahead and see what I find off the top. Because if it is blue card, I'm tempted to force this just to keep them on Metalcraft. But I might need to hold this for a 1 ring. Okay, and it was extremely, like, I think it was less than 50% chance that it wasn't blue because our deck is so blue. I'm going to let that resolve, though. Don't make me pitch my Murktide to stop your 1 ring. I don't have any recourse. I've got nothing else going on. Okay, there's 1, 2. Candelabra. 3, 2, 1, 2, okay. It just mistabs. Okay, 3 floating. Use the pedal. That's 4 mana. I think this is the force. I can't live in this world. They're down to 2 cards. Got tons of mana. We just have to, like, we're going to ride our one-sided Howling Mine. But, yeah. I mean, once Mystic Forge comes out, the game just goes south very quickly. Oh, we got so lucky. So lucky. All right, I am going to deploy that. I'm going to come in for a hug. And there's going to be a turn where we're totally shields down. We just have to hope that we've done enough. We can't wait. Like, I need to do the damage to kill them. Leave a comment with a timestamp before you watch the rest of the video. But right now, based off of this exact moment, like, would you deploy the Murk there or would you wait? If they have 1 ring, I'll be so tilted. Key. Okay, they have even more mana now. What is in your hand? Do you have the freaking Ugin thing? I'll just concede if you have the Ugin thing. I don't want to play against that. Tezzeret Cruel Captain is annoying. It can go get Portable Hole, but that doesn't stop Murk. I'm going to kill Tezzeret with prejudice, with extreme prejudice. You'll see true cruelty in the hands of my heartless Murktide. He's going to swim over, just take a nice, he's going to do the breaststroke over, and he's just going to smack you. All right, Mox Opal. Okay. All right. Past that priority. My goodness. Okay. Good thing they didn't have Karn. They could have shut off our clues. So I'll just go ahead and attack. We'll both attack at the captain. Capitan. Take that, you cruel captain. If they do Bowmasters for some reason, or if they do One Ring, we do have Bowmasters, but they have so much mana. Crazy mana. All right, let's see. Do you have another cruel captain? It's like watching a slot machine, but like you're finding out how much insurance you owe on your car or something like that. That's the experience of playing against this deck. How much mana are they going to make? Oh, it's like variable reward, but it's in the form of electric shocks. Karn. I'm going to give you the Karn because I'm going to kill. They do have the mana to put out a... they have one card in hand. If they get the thing, the Ensnaring Bridge, they can stop me. But I do have Bowmaster, so I think I just kill Karn. Like, go ahead and Bowmaster, and I'm going to attack with my 1/1s under the bridge. Then we'll bounce it later, but I'll get Karn out of the way. I think it's a dangerous game, but I don't... it's not like I'm going to... I mean, I guess I could have like cracked a clue and drawn Consign, but then I don't have the option of Bowmastering if I whiff. So I think this is the safer play. Okay. You're blowing up one of my dudes. Deal. Smack you down. Smack my Karn up. All right. Let's go ahead and attack Karn to death. They could have... K-Command is the last thing to save him. Yeah, they have a big K-Command. I am going to go ahead and just attack them with this, and I'll attack with these at Karn. And I'll create a... hopefully I can flip Tamiyo here in addition to killing Karn. He had it coming. He was a total meanie. Okay, so this is a forced negation, which is pretty necessary. But the problem is we don't have the mana. I need to flip Tamiyo now. I feel that I need to. I think I just actually take this land so I can shuffle this. Let's go ahead and shuffle. Underground Sea here, and we will go ahead and just draw this, see what we rip. This will flip Tommy. Got a backup Tommy. I'm just going to hold her. Yeah, and we're at their mercy. We can't do anything this turn if they rip something insane. They can't always rip insane cards, but it seems like they always do. This is 3 mana. Candelabra. Okay, 2 more mana. 4 mana. 5 mana. Yeah, this is going to be the big freaking... okay, command. I'm going to ping you. It's a pity I don't have any cards in my graveyard. They can use these to block. Yeah, I will ping here. So they did keep 2 top, which is terrifying. We need to find a force stat. They did draw a card. Do they have the mana to deploy it now? They do technically have quite a bit of mana with these. Thank goodness. Come on, let's find a force or a consign. Dragonstorm could find consign. I definitely am not attached to this Tommy here. Let's go ahead and do this. Blue, blue, Dragonstorm. Come on, find a force. Does another Brainstorm do enough? Bin this Tommy. I think we Brainstorm first, and then we can always regrow Brainstorm if we need to. So they may have taken the card they want into their hand. I don't think the second Bowmaster is impactful enough. We could just ditch this island. But then what are we doing? I like the idea of regrowing a Ponder. We're not going to be able to ultimate Tommy in time. Yeah, so I'm going to bin... am I going to bin Bowmaster? That seems wrong. We already have one. If we get it out, there's no way they can one-ring us. But we're not going to be able to get it out this turn. And I've got so many clues to crack next turn. Dragonstorm seems like it's better because it's card filtering. Oh, wait, I'm just putting cards on top of my deck, aren't I? I'm not even binning them because I already used the Dragonstorm. So, yeah, I think we just draw the Bowmaster next turn. Or, we could do it now. I'm going to go ahead and fire off this Thoughtseize and just see what's in their hand. But they kept 2 on top, so they have something else worth casting on top too. Okay, Karn, bye-bye. Planar Nexus, hello mana. They have something insane on top. I know it. I could just reroll the Ponder and Ponder, but I'm not going to have any mana up. What could I... nothing that immediately addresses... or I'll regrow this Brainstorm. I'll regrow the Ponder because I don't mind shuffling those cards on top. So Merc grows. Let's Ponder here. Oh, if only I had room to waste them, but it's too late. Like, they're going to have infinity mana. We just have to kill them in time. Consign is a sick rip, but it's too late probably because we're tapped out. They'll probably just block a couple. They don't need this mana. I know it seems crazy, but I think we're dead. They kept one of their top cards. They don't keep a card if it's not insane. If it's the one ring, that might be a reason to keep it. But one of those cards was Karn. Okay, here's the freaking Ugin thing, I bet. They got 6 mana in the pool. They actually do have enough to like just get rid of our Murk and stack their deck even. Okay, there's a One Ring. Yeah, I couldn't interact with that, unfortunately. So they're going to go ahead and do this. I'll ping one of these dudes, I guess. They can just sack it to prevent me. But I want to reduce their mana at least. Like, I can't hit their... I don't want to shoot. Oh, man, they're going to do it again. So frustrating. Yeah, they can do it several times here. And they have protection for the next 2 turns because the One Ring is a deeply flawed. Ping these out of the way, I guess. I don't really care about this getting big. They're dead anyway when we finally get to attack them. We're not going to get to attack them for a few. So we have to really hope this consign does some serious like lifting next turn. The target once they have like a Karn or something out, we can start targeting that. But again, this is just a textbook example of how messed up this deck is. If we drew like a Null Rod, that might be okay, but it's probably way too late. They've got 6 cards in hand. They're passing. They cannot be killed. Frustratingly, we can't do anything about it. So we are definitely plussing here. I am going to Roiling Dragonstorm just to max looks at a Null Rod. I don't think Null Rod does it. Wasteland is okay. We can take out the Nexus. If we draw some more consigns, that could work. They have protection. We can't Thoughtseize. If we crack this off, we can no longer... Gosh, they're going to draw like so many freaking cards. It's so frustrating. And then they're just going to have another One Ring, and we're never going to get to attack them. We can consign the Null Ring and the One Ring, but they're going to have multiples. I am going to go ahead and just draw, just in case I draw like a Wasteland. I'll probably draw a Null Rod that I can't cast. Oh, that's not terrible. Okay, so we have 2 points of interaction. We pass, and we die. Again, sorry, like, I know it's no fun to watch some guy just whining the whole time, but like this matchup is so screwed up and so annoying. They take 3. They haven't been using their life for anything really. Like we've done as much damage as we could. We had to divert attention to the captain, or I chose to divert attention to the captain. I don't think it would really matter. They can draw like a bajillion cards. I think we just try to counter the One Rings here. If they don't find a One Ring, they can't win. I don't think. I could be wrong. They're going to draw a bunch of Bowmaster triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please die. Please die, opponent. If I had a second Bowmaster out, I know that was an option that was on the table. I wouldn't have these cards in hand. They can't One Ring again. They need the One Ring now. Lattice locking us doesn't work. Nothing that I can think of works here. Giant K command would be super annoying, but I'd let it happen because I just have to stop the One Ring. I've got one more shot at stopping the One Ring. They've got so much freaking mana. Because they can untap this several times. Can they burn me out from here? Do I want to try to, like, I don't think they can. How much mana? They have 8 cards in hand. We just have to stop the One Ring, but if they burn me out, then that does it. So now they know that, yeah, but like, this could be bait. Look at 8 cards, 33 cards. There's a high likelihood they do not have a second one. Yeah, well, I'll just take these pings. But if there's a giant K command, I might have to stop it, unfortunately. And then that'll give them a window to One Ring. So this burns me and it produces mana. But they only have 7 cards. I don't think they can produce enough without a K command to kill me. And then I just stop the K command. I think if they had a One Ring, they would have cast it by now. But again, they could be just baiting. Monolith, yeah, I'll take another ping. You have all the mana in the world. Tezzeret, Cruel Captain... can go get an artifact, can also untap One Ring, but they can't use it because of my... Yeah, I just need to keep this Bowmasters on the table. They could find Portable Hole and put my Bowmasters in it. But again, they're dead. They are dead to One Ring next turn if they can't get rid of it. Okay, they're untapping. They're adding a ton more mana. If this is Giant K command, I just basically have to force it, sadly. And if why just make it 8 mana K command? They probably have 2 K commands is what my read is. 10 mana. They're making a giant K command. Using his ability. What are they going to go get? They could get like a thing that pings. A manifold key. That's fine. It does ping. Okay, I'll take another damage. You get another dude. They have so much mana it's not even funny. This Orcish Bowmaster is the only thing keeping us alive. 4 mana. So they've used their Cruel Captain. We still have 9 life. What are they going to do? Okay, they're going to create a lot more mana. Again, I just can't beat 2K commands. There's no way. But I can beat 1. Okay, they're untapping some land. 13 mana in the pool. 14. Hopefully this is a giant K command. They're going all in. They could One Ring and try to K command kill me with the triggers on the stack. I think that's what they're going to try to do here. So I'm going to hit that. Hit that. Oh, I screwed up the sequencing. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I will kill them. Okay, they're going to attempt a K command here. Oh, they're going to do it again? That's freaking crazy. They're not going to be able to One Ring again, but if they find multiple K commands, they can win. So messed up. So messed up. This deck is so degenerate. I definitely do want to kill them here. I think I'll put the last 2 pings on the Glaring Fleshraker just in case. If they have multiple K commands, they can just do it twice. This is so crazy that they can do this. 11 mana in the pool. All on them. I could target the captain. I don't think it matters. There's not going to be another turn after this in case. Okay, so you have to K command me. You can do it twice. And you can find another K command. They may have 2 K commands, in which case I think I'm just dead. Okay, they spend all their mana. They don't have any more mana. All right. That should be the game, right? You have 0 mana? Thanks for giving me a freaking heart attack, opponent. What did you expect to happen? I would have F6'd and won and gone and made a sandwich while you do your weird, ritual over there on your side of the table for the next, they call Enchantress Solitaire, but this is what my opponent's playing is the real Solitaire. I'm not going to interact with you. I'm just going to make it really annoying for you to interact with me. All right, bye-bye. We are going into the trophy round after that extremely unfortunate and unsightly mess of a game. But we did defuse the bomb without even finding the null rod, so I'm happy about that. We beat Mahfouz Vangough on Dredge. We've had some very adverse matchups, and we're doing okay. See you in the final round. All right, final round. We're on the draw against the big bad blue-black Reanimator. They've mulliganed. They've been trophying with this very standard, boring Reanimator. Well, okay, it's got Kaito in it. I think that's the only thing I see here that's non-standard. They're playing Kaito. They're playing 1 fewer Murktide. Okay, 3 main deck Bowmaster. So it's actually like a scarier version than what we're used to playing. I'm going to mulligan. I'd like to find a Reanimate, so if they entomb, I can at least reanimate their threat. Oh, I think this is better than what we had before, but it's not great. I'm just going to put back the Merc. I think, sadly, I do need to Island Ponder here, even though they're going to be doing their degenerate thing over there. Wait, did I just put back a Force? I put back a Force instead of the Merc. What a punt. Okay, I'm sorry, my excellent friends. I have literally no words to describe like the idiocy of that thing that I just did. Like we had Force of Will. No, I think I'll just hang on to this Murktide that's relevant in like 6 turns. Okay, let's find that land. This is fine. I don't want this Wasteland ever. Oh, I can't believe I did that in the trophy round. I'm going to hide the fact that I have a land just in case they decide to do some sort of weird sequence. Like they Thoughtseize me and then there's like, yeah, I can do whatever I want. You're screwed. So we're not going to shuffle this. Okay, I'm going to try to tighten up. Hopefully they don't like surgical me and make me shuffle my land away. Okay, that is not in. Uh-oh. We could be up against Jeskai. No, we're up against Underground Sea. They could have switched to a more control-y build, or they could be on like Show and Tell, which actually is favorable. I'd rather than be on Show and Tell. Like Blue-Black Omnitell or something like that. We can see what's going on over there. I don't hate it. They could be on Bug Beans, actually. They may brainstorm here, and then just to hide information. No, they're forcing that straight up. Okay, interesting. I have no idea what they're on. All I know is I feel like a horse's patoot. To quote Tommy Boy, one of the greatest pieces of cinema, not movies, one of the greatest films in all history. All right, we're drawing a Wasteland, which does give us Roiling Dragonstorm. They've tapped out of Bowmasters. They don't seem to have days if they're forcing my Thoughtseize. They're down to 3 cards. The card that they pitched to force was another Force. Okay, let's go ahead and get our Roiling Dragonstorm on. Just trying to find more land. Trying to find a Force that I shouldn't have put back. Don't daze it. Okay, good. All right, so we found both. I'm not going to complain about this at all. I mean, it seems lame to bin a Bowmasters, but I want this land pretty bad. Yeah, I'm going to bin a Bowmasters. Sorry, Bowmasters. I will reanimate you if I find a reanimate. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have reanimate because that wrecks us. I'm feeling okay in this game considering we're on the draw and we don't even really know what we're playing against, but that could just be me being diluted. Maybe this is the Entomb. Green, they are playing Bug. I think they're on Bug Beans. I'm going to force the Beanstalk so hard. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Wow. We can just mark right now. I think that's okay. We have Force for Brainstorm. I want to win this game. I want to end it. I'm worried about letting them continue to go. I'll leave the Bowmaster in the grave just in case I do rip a Reanimate later. Hopefully my opponent's not playing Reanimate. Because Bowmaster will be good in the match. But I want to get this Dragonstorm back in the hand and just get a clock on the table. They're going to probably have their own Bowmaster here soon. Okay, Shielder's Edict, Murderous Cut, any number of things possible. I'm not going to protect my Merc though. I've already gotten ahead on cards. My intention is to out-card advantage my opponent by stopping Beanstalk. Witherbloom is fine. It doesn't really do much. Stealing some life from us. Putting some more stuff in their yard. They've got, okay, so look at their yard. They've got 2 Mercs. So they are definitely on Bug Beans. I think there's like nary a shadow of a doubt, if that makes sense. Okay, so we have options. I kind of think we just chill and swing for 5 with lots of interaction up. Brainstorm to shuffle away this ugly land. Bowmaster. We have Daze Protection. We've got Spell Pierce Protection, which is a card that could be playing. I will invite my opponent to cast the first Bowmasters. Okay, or they can waste me again. I could throw them off with a blue here. I'm just going to let it happen. Like every turn cycle, we are doing 5 damage to them. If that's all they're doing. Untap. We don't know our top cards. I'm just going to stay calm. I'm not going to cast the Bowmasters. No, we got Tamiyo. I'm going to go ahead and drop this. Looking for more land, I think. That's actually pretty good because they only have 1 black source. We've already dropped our land. I don't want to shuffle, so I'm just going to come in for a hug and pass. I certainly could play out a Tamiyo just to add to the pressure. I find it's often like a mistake not to play her out. I think I'm just going to go for a Bowmasters here. I wanted to keep that Wasteland, but I don't want to lose my Merc that's clocking them hard. I'm going to grab the Underground Sea just in case they waste me again. Let's come in for a hug here. I don't want to have to force, but I will force if absolutely necessary. I'll ping you. I'll get a dude, and then I will sacrifice my Bowmaster. All right. Let's hope that they don't have a Bowmaster of their own, but we do have force. And our hand isn't super soft to Bowmaster, but like, yeah, let's face it. If they had Bowmaster, it would be bad. They are able to Mystic Sanctuary, which they might do right now. I could easily see the Mystic Sanctuary, put Shielded Edict on top. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. And then I'll have to force that probably. They're down to 2 cards. They're going to use one of their cantrips here. I think we just keep beating them down. Don't worry too much about. I will pitch a Brainstorm here. I could really, play Brainstorm and Roiling Dragonstorm next turn. Get deeper into our deck. Don't have a Daze, please. Or it's pretty devastating. Oh, their own Merc. This will be bigger than mine. They put Witherbloom on top. So they're going to try to waste me again, I think. Or drain life. I think I just fight this here. They have 1 card left. Is it a Daze? Or a Spell Pierce? Either of which will Shadow Realm me. Okay. All right, so we know they're drawing Witherbloom command, so I think they're practically dead. I'm going to go ahead and play out a Tamiyo first. I don't know what I'm looking for here, though. But I am going to go ahead and Dragonstorm before combat. Force would be great. There's a Reanimate. Like it. Like it a lot. Fatal Push doesn't seem as useful as Reanimate, because Reanimate, if we can just Bowmaster him next turn. I think I was looking for a land. That was what I was hoping to get. They're going to push that. That's fine. They are hellbent with only Witherbloom command. We have Reanimate. We can get our Bowmaster back and drive the final nails in the coffin if they survive. I think they're deterministically dead, though. Yeah, they can gain life, but that Witherbloom on top sealed their fate. All right, this is the chess match. I am very confident that what we are playing is better against the meta than what they are playing. I do not think Bug Beans is where you want to be. I think where you want to be is something like this. I do think the Nile spellbombs come in. They do use their graveyard. I think the Reanimates could come out. Yeah, I don't think they're super good here. Well, I mean, they're playing their own Bowmasters. Could be, we want to keep some. What is bad here? Fatal Push against Tamiyo is okay. I mean, Tamiyo's kind of bad. They're playing Witherbloom Command. Witherbloom Command is just like devastating against Tamiyo. We could just take out our forces, but I think that makes us very soft if they do manage to resolve a up the beanstalk, which we just got lucky and they didn't find one. My temptation is to just take out the Reanimates and bring in the Nile Spellbombs. Yeah, I think it's just like a nice simple substitution because you reanimate something that's cool and all, but what really sucks is when your opponent resolves like a giant Murk that you could have easily prevented for like the low price of 2 mana, replacing the card and everything. But yeah, I think we want to be on Spellbomb here instead. Okay, this hand is totally workable. Double Bowmaster hand, I love it. We can go get an island here and ponder to start off with. Just try to find like a force for up the beanstalk. That's very necessary. Ponder. They're on the play again, which means we're not going to be trying to waste them out. I think that does work really well when you're on the play, but I don't think that's a great strategy when you're on the draw. Okay, the other thing we could consider doing is just playing Tamiyo and making them deal with it. That might actually distract them, and we don't care about her long term. Our opponent is going to think she's a much bigger threat than she actually is, I think. That's typically what happens. People overestimate her. Like, it's weird because it's really hard to like threat estimate on her. If they just ignore her and resolve a up the beanstalk, it's going to be pretty annoying though. Please kill her. Kill her, mommy, kill her. All right, there we go. And that is a reference to, of course, Friday the 13th, the original one. Before Jason became like Jason Voorhees, it was just like this weird, creepy kind of chant. I don't know exactly how it works. Okay, so I think we hold up Bowmasters here. We could just Dragonstorm now to get ahead in cards. I want to pitch this Fatal Push. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And hopefully find a force along the way for their... Oh, Spell Pierce. Okay, that's fine. It's a 1-for-1. Yeah, but now if they Beanstalk, we're in trouble. But we do have double Bowmaster, which does chew up Beanstalk players pretty hard, unless they have their own. Okay, here's the waste. They always waste. They never give consideration to the fact that maybe they'll need that mana for themselves in their Lorien revealed deck. There's the freaking Beanstalk. Okay, so we're pretty behind the 8 ball here, but I presage this. And maybe it's my fault because I'm not giving them any reason to fear. Like, I don't have days in my deck. So we're just like, it's the world's most obvious Orcish Bowmasters. They're just bullying us with their beautiful on the play antics. All right, and they can nuke our graveyard, which I don't really care about. I have a second Bowmaster, so I am going to go ahead and be mana efficient. Since they're denying me mana, I'm going to go ahead and play this. And if they Bowmaster, a lot of times people even like get so excited they'll Bowmaster with the Bowmaster on the stack. Like, you can't have a Bowmaster for even one priority pass longer. Okay, my opponent is not doing that though. Now they're doing it. Now they're doing it after we pinged them. But I swear, I don't know what it is about the compulsion to immediately get Bowmaster off the table, but people always do this. They always do it. It's so irrational. Okay. So we could attack. Yeah, I'm going to attack. See if they take the trade. And if they take the trade, I'll just Bowmaster and kill both of these things. Yeah! Don't force this. If they force it, I will be genuinely have egg on my face. They do have the force. So freaking tilting. And they get to go up a card. They're not penalized. I should have freaking pushed there because if they have days, it's so tilting. I do want to get this off the table though. I'm going to go ahead and push now. I could wait. I could wait till the end of the turn, but that does increase the likelihood of them having Spell Pierce on. I should have just done it with the days on the stack. If they have days now, I'll be so humiliated. Okay, we did get rid of that. The board is clear. They've gone through 2 of ours. They were able to cantrip off their powerful enchantment. They forced our enchantment, so we weren't able to use it, or pierced it rather. Okay, they're brainstorming again. Frustrating that like they had answer to both of my Bowmasters. If they have another Bowmaster, we're absolutely cooked. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ponder, and then I'm going to brainstorm on top of They're inevitable Bowmasters because I'm sure they found Bowmasters. I'm like Gilbert Godfrey up in here. It's like the absolute worst thing will always happen to me. Okay, they get a card off this. They've tapped out a black, which is nice. They're probably going to murk us now. Draw some cards. We don't have access to murk, unfortunately. I think the Bowmaster... Yeah, they're murking. Yeah, so frustrating. So I actually don't have very many good answers in my deck to Murktide. They've taken my... It's a big one, too. I think we've lost this game. All right, let's go ahead and... That's not what we want. So the way to see the most cards is to ponder and then to brainstorm. But what are we even looking for? Brazen Borrower is literally the only thing that does it here. And it only does it temporarily. They can redeploy. And they'll get another card when they do. Let's think. I'm going to brainstorm and then I can ponder, shuffle away this Wasteland that doesn't do anything. Now Spellbomb's a little late to the party. Tamiyo is... I'm not going to count on her doing anything here. We're going to go ahead and shuffle these cards away and just see what our natural rip is here. We've already tripped Tamiyo for the turn, so we're not going to get any value off her. Okay, so we'll any order shuffle here. I don't even know what we're doing. Roiling Dragonstorm is not bad. I'll just play this and I'll pass. There is the extremely unlikely chance that we draw a Brazen Borrower off of Roiling Dragonstorm plus a land. I feel extremely frustrated that they had exactly Force and Bowmaster. But like it's not like aberrational. I don't know why I'm being so tilted and so pissy today. I shouldn't, like, nobody owes me a victory. I need to remind myself of that and toughen up. Witherbloom, just draining us and milling themselves, making it all the more inevitable that they win. So when I spellbomb them, I'm out of here. This is so frustrating. I don't know. Maybe I'm just having a bad day. Like I'm 4-0. Like I've got one game left. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm freaking out so hard. I'm going to take a breather. All right, I think I've cooled down a little bit. I played with my cat for about 2 minutes. This hand's fine. Turn 1 Tamiyo that's most likely going to get pushed. But they won't waste into an open Tamiyo. We have a backup Undercity Sewers. They do. I think we get her online, but they do have 2 probably Witherblooms in their deck. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and Tommy here. And I think I'm in a position where I might be able to bully with Wasteland a little bit, since they're a 3-color deck. What I would probably do is just Tommy and just keep her around for clue creation. If they 1-for-1, it's fine. I just waste their land and hope that that was their only black source. They are going to waste her. Are they going to waste into her? I don't think that's wise. Okay. I mean, they could just have a hand full of Wastelands. So I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug. And then we're going to play out this Undercity Sewers and hope they don't have another Wasteland, because that would be pretty catastrophic end of the league. I mean, I need to find another land now. I'm actually going to bin this. It sucks. But like, I feel like I'm just... Yeah, they had run Wastelands. Okay. So the fact that we're creating these clues doesn't even matter if we don't find a land soon. If I had fetches, I would have definitely fetched a basic. I did not have that option. I had no agency. I could have molded that perfect hand. We have to hope that they're all in on these Wastelands. And of course, they've got the basic land. Please push her now that I've got 2 clues. That's fine with me. Okay. And if they have like Trop into Beanstalk, it's pretty catastrophic. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, finally. I'm going to just go ahead and immediately ponder. I don't want to run any risks with my mana. That's how I lose here. All right, that's pretty good. So we'll just take the Bloodstained Mire here. And we will pass. I don't know that I'm still in a position to waste them. We'll see what they do. Holy cow! You deserve to lose if you play like that, frankly. You had my heart going. Okay, so I think my opponent misplayed keeping that hand. So I'm going to go ahead and Dragonstorm first. I mean, we saw the top... One of the top cards is a Murk, which you don't want another one. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get another Underground Sea. I'm aware that if they have like Life on the Loam or something, it's absolutely catastrophic, but I'm not gonna forego the second blue source here. It's too important. So we'll go up to a Fatal Push can probably be pitched, and then I'm just going to ponder again and try to set up yet another land for next turn. All right, this doesn't have the land. I think we shuffle this. Like, I'm serious. I want a land. I'm fine pitching this Brainstorm. Okay, Fatal Push. We're in the driver's seat. We just need to stick this and force protect it, and we should be able to win. Spellbomb. That's fine. If you want to use it right now for no value, you can. That's fine. That's fine. I will rebuild. I'm not going to... I mean, that's a 0 for 1. Granted, they would have discarded. I could have forced that. I think that would have been a huge misplay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a Brainstorm, trying to find a fetch land. All right, we did find a now Spellbomb, which I can use now. I'll put the Bowmasters on top. Yeah, I'll do that. And now I'm just going to go ahead. I can wait a turn on this. I don't want them to draw like a... Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take my clean 1 for 1 right now. Okay, let's just play very carefully. We've got plenty of time on the clock. My opponent kept a hand they shouldn't have kept. They are missing on land drops. They're going to discard. We've got clues we can crack. Okay, Witherbloom to the yard. I want to get a land. Let's go find a land. If I clue first, it increases the likelihood that I find a land. I'm going to clue first. All right, there we go. There we go. I don't even need to do anything else. I'll just end-step Bowmaster them. Actually, if I Bowmaster now, then if they find a cantrip, they can't do anything about it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to get another Underground Sea. And I like this play, casting the first Bowmaster in this specific situation because it does lock them off a Ponder. But if they do draw land and they just happen to have a Bowmaster in hand, which is highly likely, then we could get into a daze fight or a force fight over it. Yeah, that's fine. So they've used 2 of their Witherblooms. Okay, they're passing again. All right, so we have enough to Murk here, and I think we probably should. We could also just Tommy and Flipper. I think I like doing that around the Bowmasters. Let's go ahead and attack for 1. I could just also wait a turn with Bowmaster up. I think that's also okay. If they try to push Tommy, I can Flipper. If they have like a third push, I will attempt to save my lady here. Okay, that is pretty good. Thoughtseize probably breaks things open. They may have a Thoughtseize of their own. I don't want them to take my Bowmaster or my Merc. But if I need double blue, so what I'll do is I'm going to put back the Fatal Push. I might not even need it. And I will put back the Bowmaster. Okay, she flips. I still have... Oh, wait, I don't have Bowmaster up anymore. I think that was a mistake. Just in case they do try to do something here. Like a Island Brainstorm or something like that. Okay, they don't. All right, so far my discipline play has paid off very well. Now we're going to Merc. I will go ahead and play this out. Blue, blue, Murktide Regent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5/5. Blue, blue. They're forcing. If this resolves, I get my stuff back. I'm going to go ahead and force. I want this Roiling Dragonstorm back in my hand. They're down to 5 cards. We're in. We get Roiling Dragonstorm back. This is great. I'm just going to hold. Well, I probably should have Thoughtseize first, huh? Let's go ahead and take a look at their hand. Witherbloom is a priority just because Tamiyo's there. Yeah, you can Fatal Push my token. That's fine. Okay. Wow, Scoob. We are so screwed if they find land. Oh, my goodness. So, I'm definitely going to force the Beanstalk. We have a Bowmasters of our own. We're going to beat them down. I'm more worried about the Bowmasters than I am the Beanstalk in terms of being able to gum up the game. Maybe I should just go for the Beanstalk here, though, because we do have the answer. Yeah, I'm going to start taking the Beanstalk. I'll force the other Beanstalk if they play it. Wow, they have a really great hand if they find mana. They just completely should not have kept that hand. I've done that so many times. Like, Zafrix, if you're watching this, if what I said earlier was rude, my apologies. Yeah, you get a one-shot with mana if you would like. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and draw. Okay, yet another answer to Bowmasters. I think the simple thing is just come in for a hug. I mean, I could just go ahead and Thoughtseize them again. I should have done this before combat, by the way. It would have changed the clock. I think I'm just going to plus. And then I'll force a Witherbloom command if they have it. I can do all this stuff at instant speed, like the Clue and the Fatal Push and the Bowmasters. Okay, they are going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and set a stop here. Oh, there, you're just going to get a basic. That's fine. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and do this. I do think it's fine to just let this stay in play for a turn cycle. I have lots of answers to it. That's fine. Because it's possible that they do try to go for like up the Beanstalk or something, and then I can get a double ping. It's a good card. They're going to be able to go get a Trop here and Beanstalk, which I will double Bowmaster. I think that's probably better to let the Beanstalk resolve. You're welcome to attack if you'd like. Okay, so options. One, we just let this resolve. Then we ping both the Bowmasters. Their hand is Bowmaster, right? They have a second Bowmaster. I'd rather counter the Bowmaster. I think I'm going to live dangerously, and I'm going to go ahead and black Bowmaster here. We will kill your Bowmaster. Then we'll let the Beanstalk resolve. We're going to kill your other blocker. We'll go to my turn before I waste. I am going to go ahead and crack the Clue now, though. Okay, another force. That's not bad. They are very close to being dead. Let's think about this. So 1, 2, 3. That's a total of 8. We can make it 9. I'm going to take whatever's in their hand first. I mean, we've got this game. I'm not worried about it. I will take the Bowmaster here. And I will just... I guess I could just regrow and take the Brainstorm too. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the game's over. I think it's deterministic. So now they don't have force. Just come in for a hug. 9 damage. I don't think there's a way they can get out of this. Like, they can't draw cards off Beanstalk. Good games. Wow, Wasteland doesn't do it. The third Wasteland. They're wasting their own land. Yeah, good games. Well, that's the trophy, friends. We got it. Finally, a trophy with a control deck. Yeah, I don't think I've actually trophied with a pure control deck in a while. It's really freaking hard to do. So we beat Dredge. We beat Karnforge. We didn't play against Blue-Black Reanimator. We beat Beans, which is always nice because usually the decks that beat Dredge and Karnforge lose to Beans. So, okay. Let's talk about the deck. Nothing felt bad. The Reanimates were stinky in some matchups and we just boarded them out. Now Spellbomb is still a heck of a card. And, I mean, was there ever a situation where this Reanimate was better than a Nile Spellbomb? I don't think there was. I think you could just not play the Reanimates, frankly, and just play the Nile Spellbombs and have more sideboards. Yeah, I mean, like, I hate to say it, but it is cute. The other option is, of course, Kaito, but, like, I don't like Kaito in Murktide decks. We already have our card draw engine, and it's much more compact and simpler. What I like about Dragonstorm and what I like about Beanstalk is it's just very simple. You just play it, and it sits there, and it generates value. Roiling Dragonstorm is a liability against Bowmasters, but again, Bowmasters is at a low point right now. Yeah, and I mean, I think what you do is you probably just split it like this. I don't like to play Dress Down in these types of matchups. I think Explosives is probably fine here. It did feel awkward to board it in when we're a 2-color deck because we can't blow up like... Man, like, we have so much anti-Karnforge stuff. It just feels so bad to go even more. But maybe we do want to. I mean, it seems like a ridiculous matchup, and Consign does just cleanly answer. So if you went like this, I wouldn't fault you. Oh, we have room for one more card. So I think what I would do is I'd probably play the Spellbomb here. And then we have room for one more card. I don't think you want to play Harbinger right now, but you could. That may actually be better than the 4th consign. Harbinger would have been good in that final matchup. Actually, what is that good against? I'm not even really sure what decks it's good against right now. Let's take a look at the top MTG top 8 or MTG Goldfish. This is the current legacy metagame. We can see that Dimir Tempo, which I think our deck is well positioned against. Mystic Forge combo, which is very difficult to beat. Like back before Vexing Ball was banned, I think this deck had like a 60% win rate, and it might be back up toward that. I don't know what the win rate is, but it's very strong. Like I lose to it constantly, even when I'm playing like, the White Dragon and stuff to stop it. Like it feels weird to throw in a third Null Rod. Like I don't actually even own a third Null Rod. I have to go buy one, which is not inexpensive. And it would just be for this matchup. Like Painter isn't even on this list anymore. Nadu is a pain. So Reanimator is obviously the big bad. Delver is kind of a problem. Let's talk about what we do with Delver. So that's always like an active concern. Like, okay, you're going to want to take out your Thoughtseizes. So we just bring in the Nile Spellbomb and the Hydroblast there. Against Karnforge, we just take out the Fatal Pushes. We bring in the Null Rods and the Consigns. Oh, we can take out the Nile Spellbomb. So we actually do have more room to bring in stuff. But no, wait. Let's see. 8 cards, including the Force Negation. 8. So we'd actually have one more card we could take out. It's not obvious what that card would be. So we have these 3 and we have these 4. What do you take out? And it could be that maybe we just don't have enough. We don't need that many sideboard cards. Maybe we only need 2. It felt pretty good when we drew it, but it is pretty bad against everything else. It's good against Eldrazi and Karnforge, and that's it. Eldrazi is not a significant portion of the meta going into Eternal Weekend. I don't think it could be. I think Moonstompy is so much better, and Moonstompy probably just completely destroys Eldrazi as well. I haven't played that matchup, but I would definitely want to be on Moonstompy's side. Yeah, I mean, this card does feel really bad. How many 1-drops are we playing? Let's take a look. Because I would love to cut the Engineered Explosives too. Sorry, this is like, if you're new to the channel, so like, subscribe, tell your friends, Be Excellent channel for control gaming and budget gaming. Like this is not a no reserve list card deck, but I have tons of no reserve list cards if you're looking for a budget deck. So typical, streamer spiel about like, please continue to like, well, I have tons of videos that are members only that will eventually become public, but it'll take a few weeks. So check that out too. Also, if you're watching and you're a member, shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the Be Excellent channel and helping me most likely go to Eternal Weekend this year in Pittsburgh. I'm trying to budget as much of that as possible from my YouTube earnings to make my wife less upset at me about my relatively expensive hobby. Okay, so let's take a look at the pile view here. And what I'm trying to establish is how many 1-drops do I have? 23. I think that's a pretty good argument for Engineered Explosives in the sideboard. Other options, of course, like another Brazen Borrower. The main issue is we have these dead cards against Karnforge, or I'm sorry, Fatal Pushes and the Null Spellbombs. We don't have enough cards to bring in. So if we do take out a Consign, then we have exactly 7. But we also have this Engineered Explosives, which probably should come in. It can take out like a bunch of constructs if they do the Heirs of Saga thing. It's a very clean answer to constructs, and it'll take out like Mox and stuff like that along with it. If we're really concerned about those, though, we could bring in Dress Down, which is also good against Nadu. Let's talk about the Nadu matchup. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great. We don't have enough creature removal. We have the Fatal Pushes and the Orcish Bowmasters. We could play a singleton Shieldred's Edict, which is quite good against both Flip Tamiyo and Kaito and stuff like that in place of one of these Nile Spellbombs. Bosch and Roll said he was playing 3 Nile Spellbombs main deck in his most recent top 8. And like Bosch and Roll, I don't have the exact same deck building philosophy. Like you'll know, I play almost exclusively 4-ofs. But I do have a lot of respect for his professional opinion. Like he's much more accomplished than I am. So if he's playing 3, I definitely do want to have an additional one on the sideboard. It's just so good in certain matchups. I don't necessarily, like with the Thoughtseizes and the Forces, I don't necessarily want to go up to I wouldn't mind putting a Daze in the deck. Just one of Daze is totally fine. But what do we cut? I'm not sure. We don't really have a tempo bent at all. Like, we don't benefit from, like, these are really just for Karnforge here, these Wastelands, and they're good against Eldrazi as well. But it's unlikely that we will proactively deploy them. I think I wasted maybe like 3 or 4 times that entire league. I just don't waste very often. These are there for very specific matchups, and I think a lot of people fundamentally misunderstand Wasteland. Like, oh, I'm gonna no, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. You're going negative tempo using your Wasteland. Wasteland is there just because Legacy is, like I say, Force of Will and Wasteland are the price of admission into Legacy. Like, you need to have these cards if you want to be able to enact any sort of reactive strategy. And I don't always play Wasteland. I understand that, James Casal gets plenty of trophies without Wasteland in his deck and stuff like that. But I do think it's a good practice to have Wasteland for Urza Saga and for, being able to break up the 12 post type decks and stuff. But I'm not convinced Daze is a good card right now. But one of Daze could fit. I don't know. I'm just going in circles. Hang on. Let me get my sideboard guide out. All right. So this is the sideboard guide that I used previously to this. And you'll note that I was playing 4 Force Negations. And I was playing 3 Consigns, 1 EE, but I was playing like the Reanimates. I was playing 2 Reanimate instead of 3, and I was playing 2 Spellbomb. So the current, I'm gonna update this real quick, but these are the matchups I think need to be covered. So I'm gonna go ahead and update this real quick to reflect the new direction for this deck without the Reanimates. Right, I am back. I've emerged triumphantly with my sideboard guide. I do think 3 Nile Spellbombs is fine, and then we have the 4th on the side. I think Shieldred's Edict is a great catch-all against like Blue-Black Tempo, Blue-Black Reanimator. Probably comes in against Delver. Actually, it probably isn't necessary. Here, let me take a look at this real quick. So I've got everything in here, all the different matchups. I'm going to go ahead and add Delver and UB, though, just for the sake of comprehension. One sec. All right, I'm going to go and walk through this entire thing real quick. So for Blue-Black Tempo, we're taking out the 3 Thoughtseize. We can't take out 4 because we don't have 4 good cards to bring in. We can't bring in EE, which deals with Tamiyo, a bunch of Baragoi or Nethergoi, stuff like that. Edict is very good against Kaito and Flip Tamiyo. And then the Spellbomb, you're going to notice we're bringing in Spellbomb. The 4th Spellbomb in a lot of these tempo matchups is very good. So against Blue-Red Tempo, you definitely don't want to deal with Thoughtseize. Wasteland is a bad draw because you're never going to waste them. It doesn't make sense to. They're just saying don't waste Delver. I think it usually is true. Like, it's very rare that you would want to waste them unless they were completely struggling. Hydro Hydro's great against them. Spellbomb, Edict. And then Eldrazi, like, you always take out the Thoughtseize against aggro matchups. You don't want to be dealing damage to yourself. So we just take out the Thoughtseizes and the Spellbombs. We bring in a couple Force Negations, Consigns, 1 EE for Chalice and an Edict. Blue-Black Reanimator, we're basically pre-boarded. We just take out 2 Wastelands because you never want to waste Blue-Black Reanimator. It's a total waste of time, in my opinion. And then bring in Spellbomb and Edict. You don't want to go negative tempo, and they just need 1 black mana to entomb and 1 black mana to reanimate, and then the game's over. So Wasteland doesn't really help you there. Against Omni, pushes don't work. Spellbombs don't do anything, so you bring in the forces. Consign's okay. It's not spectacular. It's a blue card that pitches to force. Against Sneak, you just bring in the pushes, or you take out the pushes and the Spellbombs, you bring in the Force Negations, the Blast. You will note that I did go back up to 4 Force Negations. I genuinely couldn't justify not having all 4. It's not like there's some better card. Like, in all these combo matchups, it is nice to have 4. And especially when your deck is like 32 blue cards and you're like drawing Force Negations, it's not that bad. If you just need to stop a few key spells, like with Oops, 3 Consigns and a Spellbomb. Again, that 4th Spellbomb coming in so often. And the 3 main deck Spellbombs not being a big deal because you just pull them out in the games 2 and games 3. Remember that about 66% of your games are going to be post-board, so don't freak out too much about getting your main deck perfect. Just make sure you can swap into a powerful deck configuration for games 2 and games 3. We got Force Negations and Consigns coming in against Doomsday. Consigns all right against them. Usually they can check your hand before they go all in, but sometimes they're desperate because you put them under enough pressure and they can't, and that's when Consign shines. Consign also plays around Veil, which is very nice if you're up against like Storm, which isn't included here. Don't prepare for Storm. You're not going to run into it. You might run into it occasionally, but don't let like the don't get the E-Day fix. Don't let the what's the error? The recency bias or something like that. Like if something happens to you and you're like, oh, this is miserable. Like losing to Karnforge, for example, is miserable experience. And you might be biased to like go overboard. I'm going to add 4 null rods, and I'm going to add 4 consigns, and I'm going to also play Blood Moon and all this stuff. Like, this is 9 cards that we're bringing in here. We just take out the pushes, the spellbombs, Dragonstorms. And the reason is Dragonstorm, you just don't have time to cast it necessarily. And then Moonstompy is the only one that I've got on the play and on the draw differently. You do want your Thoughtseizes on the play, but you don't want it on the draw. It's like a terrible top deck. And it's an aggro deck, but sometimes you can completely disable it. You just take their One Ring, or you take their Broadside Bombardiers or something like that, and they've got a bunch of Moxen and Petals and like terrible lands that deal 3 damage to them when they come into play. And you're like, cool, have fun after I've Thoughtseized you. But you don't want to, like, after turn 1, things are very different against Stompy decks. So you always want to take your Thoughtseizes out against Stompy on the draw, and you often want to leave them in on the play, even though they're likely playing Chalice. But you'll note I am taking out the Tamiyos here because they are 1 drop that isn't like super impactful. Breakfast, I just take out a Murk and a Dragonstorm, and I bring in a Spellbomb and an Edict, and Jeskai Control / Wizards, which you may run into. It's a good deck. It's hard to pilot, but a good pilot can beat the pants out off of the deck that I'm playing. If they play their cards right. So you do want to be ready for that. So you just take out the Fatal Pushes. They do have creatures, but it's just not worth interacting with them in my experience. And then you want to bring in Force Negation to stop like their big haymaker spells like the Flame of Anor. And you got your Hydroblasts and your Edicts. Their creatures just don't matter. Like they flip a Tamiyo, okay, big deal. Are you going to try to stop the Tamiyo when it's flipping, when they probably have like a Spell Pierce or something? No, you just let the Tamiyo flip, and then you get your Bowmaster out and you protect it with everything you can, and they can't get any value out of their Tamiyo, right? So yeah, that is my advice here. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to include this in the video description, and I am going to encourage you to keep fighting the good fight as a control deck. Like, I really needed this 5-0, frankly. Like, I've just been on a Stompy bender, and I've just been like, there's no way I can play freaking control right now. And I may not play control. I may play Painter. I'm still looking at Blue Painter for Eternal Weekend. But this is a viable option. I think this is way better than Beans for the simple reason that you are all blue and all black, and you don't need to complicate your mana. Our opponent in the final round showed us exactly why Beans is a very brittle deck. You want to be able to play your basic Swamp and your basic Island, but you also want green so you can cast Beanstalk. And I think my opponent shouldn't have kept that hand, frankly. Like, I've had a lot of people tell me, you mulligan too aggressively. I mulliganed a ton this league. I got no landers, even with my 19 lands. I got hands that I was like, oh, it's too dangerous to keep this because Wasteland's a card. Like, I mulligan a lot, and I encourage you to mulligan. I found that, like, the more aggressively I'm willing to mulligan, the better I do. Frankly, the London mulligan is kind of broken. It's definitely broken for combo decks. And I can understand, like, when I play Blue Painter and I'm like mulliganing like 3 times every single game, but I'm still winning. Like that's a weird thing, but it feels counterintuitive. But going down cards to just ensure that you don't get mana screwed. I don't know if there were any games where we just had completely non-functional mana there, or we got Brainstorm locked and had to sit around. I think there might have been one that I scooped pretty quickly where we were just not having a good time because of like multiple Wastelands. But in general, I think I've, like, with my willingness to mulligan going up, I feel like things have definitely improved for me. So I'll leave it there. Continue to go out there and keep fighting the good fight with the control. It is viable. It's hard to make it work, but it is viable. And I hope this video serves as a time capsule of somebody fighting the good fight and prevailing against a lot of very powerful combo decks and some fair decks too. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.